In this video, I'm just going to be chatting to you about how you can build your social skills, get the relationships that you want. Maybe you're pursuing a sport or some sort of passion, dream, goal that you're going after. Like myself, at one time when I was 12 years old, I knew I wanted to be a professional skateboarder. And I pursued that goal probably until I was about 25 years of age, because for whatever reason, I had it in my mind that if I wasn't pro by 25, that I was gonna give it up. And why did I have that in my mind? Well, it's because I wanted to be one of the best skaters to ever do it. I wanted to be considered one of the best. And I felt like if I wasn't pro by 25, that then it wasn't worth it to me, because I didn't see myself as becoming one of the best skaters out there. And why I'm talking about this and how this relates to dating and social skills is because for that time, for that duration between 12 to 25, I basically got very good at skateboarding. I pursued that goal for the majority of my youth. And I had no idea about how to build skills. I didn't have mentors. I didn't know anything about what it takes to actually achieve a goal like that. All I knew is that that was something that I wanted to do that. I knew I had at the end of that, in my vision, at the end of that, I just knew, okay, professional skateboarder, one of the best. Okay, how am I going to do that? Well, I just knew that I was passionate about it, so I was going to just pursue that. And that's all I knew. I didn't know that you had to get out there and be consistent. I didn't know that you had to make sure that you were putting in the time and the effort on a daily basis. But I was just passionate about it, so then I just did it because I wanted to on a daily basis. I just did it because I was passionate about it. And I would put in 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day. I would just be at the skate park on a daily basis. And I would just be doing it for that duration of the time. But I had no idea that that was actually one of the factors that it might take for me to actually achieve that goal. So what happened is I pursued that goal all the way up until I was 25. And when I hit 25, I quit. I quit skateboarding. Some of the reasons is because it became very negative for me. I actually ended up getting some photos run in magazines. I got sponsored. Those were some of the goals that I had for myself. And again, I wasn't even proactive in doing those things necessarily. It was actually more the people that I met, and then luck, where they say hard work and opportunity meet. That's what some would say that luck is. I had older brothers and people that maybe supported me in some ways at that time. But basically, I did it all on my own. I had no idea how I was going to achieve that goal. And then I just met the right people, and then then maybe there was times that I got photos run in magazines, and I just happened to be at the spot when a photographer was there, and they shot a photo of me. And actually, one of the first photos that I ever got run was from a photographer that I met in Salmon Arm when I was staying out there, which is a place outside of Vancouver, where I'm currently living. And I was just skating at the skate park out there. I actually thought that I got a girl pregnant at the time, and my uncle actually had me come out there, and I was working, planning for this thing. And that's where I met this photographer at this skate park, who happened to be a photographer for many different magazines in Canada at the time. So then I later came back to Vancouver because I found out that the girl that I was apparently pregnant had a miscarriage. And so then I left Salmon Arm, came back to the city that I reside, and just again started pursuing skateboarding, and happened to go to a spot, and this guy happened to be there, and he shot this photo that ended up later getting run in the magazine. So things like this, and I actually got a few photos run featured in a magazine. And there was another time I ended up showing up at this spot, and another photographer was there and happened to shoot a photo of me getting a trick on a spot that I was skating, and that got run in a magazine. So it's very funny how at that time I was not proactive in getting the photos running, going and pursuing sponsorship necessarily to the degree that I could have. A lot of this was just me doing the best that I could as a 12-year-old kid all the way until I was 25. I was very lost did not have mentors, didn't have anybody to show me a path or give me a way. And the reason why this is relevant to you and maybe your journey and perhaps social skills is, again, this is why, is because I also was, because I got these photos around the magazine, and as I continued to pursue skateboarding, I did get to know people in the community, and I also kind of experienced what it might feel like on a very low level, what maybe fame is like. And when you are putting yourself out there and you're then, people are recognizing you, you do start to get scrutinized. You are going to be then subjected to judgments from others and scrutiny, and you're putting yourself out there, and it can be a lot of pressure. Now, at that time, I didn't even realize that these were different factors that I would be subjected to. All I thought was like, I just want to be the best skater. I want to get sponsored. I want to make video parts and travel and do all these things, but I didn't realize all these other aspects that I was going to have to deal with until later in life, when I ended up giving up skateboarding. Now, some of the reasons why I gave it up was, yes, because I then realized I wasn't going to be one of the best. That's also why I stopped. But another reason is because a lot of the negativity that I was experiencing from reaching a high level in skateboarding and being recognized and being subjected to that pressure. People were talking shit. I had friends who I thought were friends, but they were actually gossiping about me, talking behind my back, basically talking about my character and who I was. And I didn't know how to deal with these things at that time, because I also had very low self-esteem. I also didn't have much support at home. And some of the reasons why I did get so involved in skateboarding was because I was passionate about it, but it also gave me some sense of self-worth. That's sort of where I got my confidence from too, was how good I was on the skateboard. Also, my mentality wasn't that anybody can get good at something. It was more about being a natural. Whereas nowadays, I'm more of the mindset that if you put in hard work, that's how you get good at something. Anybody can get good at anything if they're willing to put in the time, if they're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to learn from others. All of these things are factors in which that you can control that are going to get you good at something and get you to the desired place that you want to get within the field that you're looking to develop skills in, whether that's social skills, whether, like for me at that time, was skateboarding. This is how you do it. But again, I reached a high level without even knowing any of these things. So basically, I experienced things like covert bullying, character assassination. I went through all these things with no support, having no idea about the concept of victim mentalities, self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem. I didn't know about any of these things. So eventually I quit skateboarding, which for me, I have no regrets, because I gave it my all. I did the best that I could at that time. But the thing is, as well, is that I was also doing drugs. I was drinking. I was not treating it like an athlete. I was not doing all the things that I could to have done much better, or maybe reach the goal that I was looking to reach. There was so many other things that I could have done that I had no idea about, and so much more that I could have affected my reality in ways that I wasn't even aware. So that's what I want to share with you in this video, is the things that I learned later in life after 25. Once I hit 25, I started reading more. I started learning about psychology. I started learning about all kinds of things like science, human nature, all these kinds of things. And now I'm 37, and I've put in a load of time in studying all these aspects, but I don't have the regrets about the skateboarding, because now I have that as a reference, as proof that a lot of these other concepts and theories that I learned, that people then studied and wrote books on, it really does make a lot of sense having that experience and that reference to then back up these theories and concepts that I later learned on the how to master something, how to build a skill in something. And one of those concepts is the 10,000 hour rule, or making sure that you're getting in the practice every single day, making sure that you're putting in the time, making sure that you're being consistent. If you're doing these things, that's at the most basic level, that's how you are going to get good at something. But the difficult thing is to actually be consistent, is to actually not allow the other factors of life to distract you and to prevent you from going and actually doing the thing. Now, the great thing about social skills, and why I love it and why I fell in love with it and why it was so beneficial for my life later on when I did quit skateboarding, was that because I had experienced all this bullying and gossiping and people, trying to say that I was this way or that way, or basically character assassination, telling me who I was. But it was so difficult at that time because I really thought the opinions of others affected my life and would prevent me from having the life that I wanted to live. And this is why I fell in love with the dating community and why it was so empowering when I did discover that I could take control of my social life. I could actually take control of my dating life, realizing that I could actually develop self-esteem, that you can actually develop confidence, that these things are learnable skills and you're not just born a certain way and then you have no control over these things, which is also sort of like a victim mentality, but you can actually take control over this aspect of your life. And that's what I learned when I discovered this community. So at the time I had thought that the opinions of others was going to hold me back, that the opinions of others was going to prevent me from living the life that I wanted to live. But then when I realized I could get out there and I could actually talk to women, that rejection was normal, all of a sudden I realized it doesn't matter what people's opinions are. Girls are still going to want to hook up with me. Girls are going to want to go on dates with me. I can basically do whatever I want. If you want to be gay, you can be gay. If you want to be straight, you can be straight. You can do whatever you want. You don't need, the opinions of others aren't going to hold you back. So somebody may think that you're gay. But then you go out there and you can still be with women. In fact, sometimes I would even go out and I would tell people that I was gay just as a joke, as a social experiment, and still find out that girls still got attracted to me and that I could still go home and have a great time. It doesn't matter what the opinions of others' opinions are of you, rather. What you learn is that what matters most is the opinion of yourself. So, through your studies, if you start studying self-development, if you start studying human nature and psychology, what you'll also realize is that you start to be able to put into a context as to why people may talk badly of others, why women talk badly of women, why men talk badly of men. It's also because we're in competition with one another. There's also status, people fighting for status. There's people fighting for resources. These are the kinds of things that exist out there that I wasn't aware of and that possibly you might not be aware of as well. But then when you do start realizing these things, you realize that you're also being manipulated by businesses. You're being manipulated by society and what people are trying to sell you something. So they want you to be insecure. They want you to feel like you have no control of your life, so that then you'll go buy their product thinking that that's what's going to make you feel complete, that's what's going to give you the confidence. But what actually gives you confidence is you getting out there, testing yourself and challenging the things that you believe. For example, you might think, I'm not good looking enough. I don't have the ability to go meet somebody. People think this of me, so then I must not then be able to get this kind of life because people are looking down on me. Then you realize, other people are going to think this. You're going to meet people that think good things of you. You're going to meet people that think bad of you. If you are basing your self-confidence off of what other people's opinions are of you, then your emotions and your self-worth is going to be fluctuating dramatically based on whether people are showing you thinking well things of you or think bad things of you. So what you need to do is start cultivating that from within. You have to validate yourself. You have to be your own best friend. You have to accept yourself, no matter, and not base what you think about yourself on whether somebody else is giving you positive feedback. This is what this teaches you. So get out there, start approaching women, start working on your social skills. Realize that this is a skill. Realize that if you do feel insecure, if you do have low self-confidence, that these are things that you can build up and cultivate for yourself. Watch out the people that you're hanging around with as well. Decide who you want around you. If people are negative, you can decide who your friends are going to be. You don't just have to take whatever you can get. Start taking control over your life. Start taking control over your actions and start dictating the people you want around you, the things that you listen to, the food that you eat. Don't make excuses, don't be a victim, and realize that it's all on you. It's your responsibility. Your life is the way that it is because of your actions. And you can read a lot about these concepts in books like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That's a great book where he talks about concepts like focusing on what's within your control rather than focusing on things outside of your control. Sometimes we're thinking about things that we have no control over. Well, that's a waste of your mental capital, your mental energy. So instead, start focusing on what's within your control and stop focusing on things outside of your control. And what could that mean? It means that instead of complaining that maybe you think that that you're not good looking, you don't have the six pack, you don't have the height, you don't have the money, and maybe that's what's preventing you from having the life that you want to live. Instead, focus on what's within your control. Do the best that you can, but a lot of the best things in life are free. You can get out there and talk to people. You can talk to whoever you want. You can learn to have emotional control and cultivate your own happiness from within. You can get out into nature. You can go swim in an ocean. You can go swim in a nice lake. You can go for a hike. There's many opportunities out there as well. You have to start recognizing the opportunities that exist for you out there. Maybe that's your first step. If you're having trouble with even going out there and talking to people and taking action in that area of your life, then just notice the opportunities. Start with that. And once you start noticing there's those opportunities that do exist for you, then you can actually start capitalizing on those opportunities and taking action towards them. And it's a slow process like anything else. What you learn in how to master something or when you're building skills is that everything takes time. Everything is a process. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be good with yourself. You have to put in the work every single day. You need to be taking action. Nothing comes easy. And even something like social skills, it's a skill, which means you still have to get out there and put in the practice. You have to talk to people. You have to challenge yourself. Ride that edge. Look within yourself. See what's hard for you. See where the challenges lie within yourself and start pushing and leaning outside of your comfort zone. This is what you need to do. You need to constantly be pushing yourself, constantly be getting out there, constantly putting in the work. And this can be challenging for some. Some people this comes easy. Some people are starting at a place maybe where it wasn't so difficult for them to be social. But some people are starting from a place where they didn't have that baseline of self-confidence. They didn't have that positive reinforcement as a kid. Maybe you have to cultivate that first before you can start getting to a place where you are comfortable in social situations. But how do you get good at something? By doing the thing. So how are you going to get good at social skills? You're going to go out there and just start talking to people. How are you going to get a beautiful woman that you actually find attractive, that's meaningful to you, instead of just taking whatever you can get or feeling like that you don't have any control over that area? How are you going to do that? Go talk to beautiful women. Don't make excuses. Look at what you're doing in your life. Audit the actions that you're taking on a daily basis. And before you start saying that you can't do it, I guarantee that you're not taking action. I guarantee that you're not actually out there putting in the work on a daily basis, which is necessary to get the result that you're looking to get. Nothing comes easy, and there's no guarantees as well, which is why you have to learn to appreciate every single day. You have to learn to appreciate the action itself. Learn to appreciate the process. Learn time management skills. Learn to actually schedule your days and have routines, processes, and habits that you take on a daily basis, and this is how you will eventually get the result that you're looking for. But there is no guarantees. But the great thing about this is that you can have successes, you can meet people along in that journey at any point in that journey, where some things maybe it's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years to reach a high level at something. You could be having success all along that period of time, but you have to just allow it to happen when it happens. Don't rush the process. Don't focus on the end result of hooking up with some attractive woman. Just enjoy yourself, pushing yourself, getting out of your comfort zone, talking to people, the social skills that you're developing. Focus on that, and eventually the results are going to come. So I'm Adam. This is it for the video. If you enjoyed this, I'm glad. I hope this helps. But if you want to take things further and you actually want to go out with me in field personally and help you to meet people, take you out to clubs, take you out to bars, take you out in the day, and speed up and accelerate your learning process, or maybe this is even difficult for you and you don't even think this is possible, let me take you out and show you this is possible and help you to get the results that you're looking for much faster, show you a process than it took me, right? Because I'm taking you out there and I can help you speed that up by showing you how it's done, by giving you external feedback, because we all have blind spots. That's why it's so important to get coaches. That's why it's so important, if you're not going to get a coach, then learn from these videos. And if you are also, get your buddy to film you so that you can see things that you might not be able to see when you're in it. So if you'd like to do that, reach out to me at datingdestruction@gmail.com and we'll get you on a call. I'll even give you a free 30-minute phone call, and then we'll go from there. So till next time, peace out, my friends.